In today's video, I'm going to walk you through step by step how to start an Amazon KDP business as a total beginner. Now in this video, I'll explain things here on camera, but I'm also going to switch you over to my own computer. This way you can follow along click by click, and by the end of this video, you will have your own business up and running. Now what's going to make this video different is most people who teach tutorials, they don't show you how to really start the business. However, in this video, I'm going to share with you all of my personal titles, subtitles, descriptions, pricing strategy, everything that I have learned that works the best for KDP, I'm going to share with you openly in this video. So guys, sit back, relax. This is going to be a lengthy video. We have a lot to cover in this video, but I promise I will keep it moving at a fast pace. So the very first thing to cover in this video is what is Amazon KDP? So switching you over to the computer here, if you just go over to Google and type in Amazon KDP, you should see a result that looks like this. This is Amazon's website. We'll click on that. And this is going to bring us to the Amazon KDP homepage. Now, for those of you who are brand new to KDP, KDP stands for Kindle Direct Publishing. Essentially, if you've heard of Kindle before, that is Amazon's department for books. And the direct publishing means that you and I can be self-publishers. So we can create books and sell them on Amazon. Now, there are some really good kickers to this that make it a very good beginner business. I'll explain those as we get a little bit further along here. But the very first thing that I want to clarify here is we're not actually writing full-length books and selling those on Amazon. So don't think that you are writing a novel. You have to be a full-fledged author to do this. I will put up on the screen here a big list of different ideas of books that you can sell on Amazon KDP. And as you can see, these are not limited to just full-fledged novels. Now, later on, as we get into this video, I'm going to share the absolute best category that I've had the most success selling in. This will help you save a lot of time with trial and error, testing out different categories of books. Now, with that being said, the next really important thing to cover here is that with Amazon KDP, we are not actually printing and shipping out the books. This is something that is really unique to this business model, and it's essentially a print-on-demand business model. So us as Amazon KDP sellers, we are only responsible to create the cover photos and what goes inside of the book. We essentially upload those to Amazon and they create a virtual listing for that book. And then when anyone comes onto Amazon and they like your book, they purchase it, Amazon receives the order, they print it in their book printing facility, and they ship it out to the customer totally for us. So to give you a good idea of what this looks like, if you go over to Amazon and we'll type in Entrepreneur Journal. This will work to show you what Amazon KDP looks like on the Amazon marketplace. So as you scroll through here, these are physical books. They are journals. So these are people who have these in inventory and they're shipping them out to the customers. But as you keep scrolling through here, you're going to start to see some of these mock-ups of covers. So something like this, that is just a photo of what that cover would look like. Or this one right here, again, just a photo of what that cover would look like. Pay attention to these because these are being done with Amazon KDP. So again, there's another one right here. There's another one right here. If we click on one of these, this is a perfect example of an Amazon KDP listing. So the way that I can tell that this is done with KDP and the seller isn't actually holding these in inventory waiting to ship them out to the customer is because you have a mock-up of the front cover right here. You have a mock-up of the back cover right here. It doesn't even show you what is inside of the book, but it gives you these couple details here saying how many pages, what language, and what size that book is. So I can tell from experience this is being done with Amazon KDP, but for most people out there just scrolling through Amazon, you would have no idea that this book is not printed yet until someone places an order. What is so cool about that is that we as the seller don't actually do any of this. All of this is done for us. We just upload the files and the customer receives a physical book like this. So before we get into the rest of this tutorial that goes through the step-by-step process of creating these books, there are a couple other things that you are probably already wondering or you're going to be wondering as you start getting into this business. So the first thing is, how do you make money in this business? So coming back to the computer here, let's look at this listing for example. So this listing is for sale for $5.99. I know from experience, printing a book roughly this size, this type of book, is going to cost you about $2.50. That $2.50 is essentially the printing cost, but the most important thing, that cost is covered by the customer. So when the customer pays the $5.99, $2.55 of that goes straight to Amazon. That covers the cost of printing and shipping out that product. And then the remainder of that is profit that is split between Amazon and ourselves. So of that remaining profit, we actually get 60% of it. Amazon gets 40%. That's pretty awesome. So on a sale like this for $5.99, we will get a couple dollars in profit. Now, the most important thing to know here and to clarify early on is that when you are creating these listings and uploading them to Amazon, Amazon, you are never going to be charged any amount of money by Amazon or by the customer. This is something that I love about this business so much, is that you don't have to have a credit card on file. You don't have to load any money into your Amazon account. All of the costs are going to be covered by the customer placing that order, and then we simply get a split of the profit. Now, speaking of this profit, I'll show you a little bit later on in this video, but you will have a dashboard for Amazon KDP that shows you all of your sales that are happening and how much profit is building up in your account. Then Amazon will automatically pay you out all of your profit once every month. Now, the next really important thing to clarify is who can actually do Amazon KDP. So this is something that is awesome. For Amazon KDP, you can do it anywhere in the world. So no matter where you are located right now, you can start selling Amazon KDP books. And as a really good kicker, you can even sell them on the Amazon US marketplace. Towards the end of this video, I'll walk you through the entire upload process for Amazon KDP books. And in that part of the process, you can select which Amazon marketplaces you want your book to be available. And in that list is the Amazon US marketplace. Now, with all that being said, there is one more kind of important fundamental thing to know before you start Amazon KDP. And that is, do you need to have a business entity set up in order to start this business? So the short answer here is no, you do not need to have a business entity set up at all to start Amazon KDP. When you come over to the homepage for Kindle Direct Publishing, all you click on is Join KDP. It's on the top right. It's also over here to the left. And this is just going to walk you through the sign up process. If you are familiar with selling on Amazon with different types of seller accounts that they have, some of them you have to apply to be a seller and wait to see if Amazon accepts you. With Amazon KDP, there is no application. So anyone from anywhere in the world can click on the Join KDP button. You can go through the process of setting your username, your password, how you want to receive your profits every month, and then your account will be open right away and you can start uploading these books today. Now, the sign up process in general is very quick. There's only a couple steps of different information they need to set up your account, but I will say that once you see the organization name, that is just asking if you have a business entity set up to enter it there. For those of you who don't have a business entity, like we were just talking about, all you do is use your first and last name as your organization name. Again, this is totally within the guidelines for Amazon KDP. You definitely don't need a business entity to sign up, but that's just a common question that I get. All right, guys, so hopefully we are all on the same page as to what Amazon KDP is. If you have any lingering questions or something very specific that wasn't just covered, let me know down in the comments, and throughout the rest of this tutorial, I might answer that question for you. With all of that out of the way, now we can get into the fun part in this tutorial and actually start going through this step by step. Now, in order for all of this step-by-step tutorial to make sense, I first have to give you some background on the types of books to create. So I'm going to pull up this big list of different Amazon KDP book ideas that you can create, and I'm going to share with you my first golden nugget in this video. From all of the years that I've been selling on Amazon KDP, the absolute best category of book that sells really well, totally organic with no need for ads, is word search books. Now, if you are not familiar with word search books, don't worry, the rest of this tutorial will make it so easy for you to follow along, but just know that it is well worth your time because this category sells really well on Amazon KDP. So guys, quickly, let me just show you two of these. This is a camping word search book. This is a Christmas themed word search book. Both of these are done with Amazon KDP. As you can see, they are just two different sizes. We will talk about this later on in this tutorial. And when we open up one of these books, you can see that there's actual word search puzzles within these books. Now, you may be wondering, why are word search books such a good topic for Amazon KDP? And this is something that took me a while to figure out. The most common types of books being sold on Amazon KDP are blank journal books, so they just have lined pages inside. However, once I stumbled upon word search books, I found out that there are very few people competing selling word search books on Amazon KDP. Now, the reason for this is a lot simpler than I thought. Not many people know how to create the word search puzzles. Once I figured this out, I learned the process to create these word search puzzles. I streamlined the entire process, which I'll share with you here in a minute. As I started listing these word search books on Amazon, they started selling themselves. No advertising, no marketing, nothing being done on my part, just people organically finding them on Amazon and making purchases. So guys, if you know my style of videos, you know I like to keep all of the fluff out of it, but I just wanted to spend that minute there just to emphasize how good of a topic word search books are for Amazon KDP. All right, so now we get to get into the fun stuff here. Let's start the step-by-step tutorial part of this video, and I'll walk you through how to create a word search book from start all the way to finish of uploading that to KDP. So the very first step we have to do here is figure out specifically what topics of word search books should we be creating. So first things first, let's come back over to Amazon and we're going to type in word search book. and give that a search. As you scroll through here, a lot of these are big general word search books. They are not niche specific. So that leaves a really big opportunity for us coming in as new sellers. Now, to give you some background on this, I've been selling print-on-demand t-shirts on Amazon for the last 10 years now. And I have learned so much from that business that also carries over to Amazon KDP. One of the most important things that I've learned in that business is that if you go through and you can figure out small specific niches like winter or nostalgia, and you can fill all those specific things that people are searching for with themed word searches, you are going to get a lot of sales. So this brings us into the first tool. So this tool is called BookBolt. This is a foundational tool for my Amazon KDP process. It's kind of an all-in-one tool, so it's going to help us to find niches, but then go on to create the entire books as well. Now, I'll get logged in and show you how to use this, but first I do want to be really transparent here. This is a paid tool, so if you go to their pricing, they have both a newbie plan and they have a pro plan. In order to create these word search puzzles, you have to have the pro plan. This is kind of a barrier to entry. A lot of people are not willing to pay $19 per month. However, trust me when I say if you have access to this and not many other people do, you are going to be creating something unique on Amazon's marketplace. This is something that so many people overlook when they're trying to sell things on Amazon. They just create what everyone else is creating, but by having a tool that not many other people have, you are then creating something unique. Now, two other important things to know here is that it is $19.99 per month, but I have a personal 20% off coupon code that I can share with you guys. I will put a link to that down in the description. It brings it down to about $16 per month. And then the last important thing is that they have a full 3-day free trial. So for this tutorial and for the next couple of days, you can really start to build this business up all while you're on a free trial. So I'll go ahead and put that link down in the description with the coupon code, and I'm going to get logged into my account and show you how to do this. All right, so once you get logged into your BookBolt account, over on the left side is all these tools that you can use for Amazon KDP. But starting out, we need to hover over keywords, give that a click, and then click on search. So once this search pops up, all we have to do is type in word search and then give that a search itself. And this is going to pull up on the left side, Amazon most trending. This is going to be what people are specifically searching for on Amazon in regards to word searches. So the first step here is just to click on the 10 and switch it to 100. This allows us to just keep scrolling all the way down here, and we can do this a lot faster. But all of these results are going to give you how many people per month are searching for that specific phrase on Amazon. This just gives you an idea of how big that market is. And then there's one step after here that is going to tell us how many other people have created word search books on that topic, so we can find all of the ones that very few people are competing in. Guys, this is kind of the secret sauce that I've learned from my print-on-demand business that's carried over to Amazon KDP. And I never want to hype things up, but this is such an important part of the process. So when you're looking at this list, it's going to be in alphabetical order. It's going to start with numbers first. I generally skip over all of these numbers. You can get some ideas out of it, but I find the better ideas once you get to the alphabet. So now that we've gotten to the alphabet, all you want to do is come through here, and whenever you find one that kind of jumps out at you and you're like, hey, I would be interested in creating a word search book themed on that, all you have to do is give it a heart. So the first one that I see in this list would be an adventure themed word search book. I'll give that a heart. As I keep scrolling down here, I've got airplane word search book, Alaska themed word search book. We can do that. Anxiety themed word search book, army themed word search book, astronomy word search book, and you can keep going all the way down. Automotive, autumn. There are a lot of really good ideas here. And then again, over on this right column is telling you how big of a market that is. So how many people are searching for that every month. Now, as a general rule of thumb, something that I've just kind of learned for efficiency is if BookBolt is picking it up and putting it in this list, there is a big enough market to get sales. So I generally don't even look at these numbers. I'm just looking for good ideas on the left and hearting all of the ones that I'm interested in. So for you guys going through here, go through and heart as many of these as you want. As you scroll through here, you will go through the entire alphabet. It is going to give you 500 results for this initial search. Now, just kind of as a pointer, as you get further along in this business, just for the sake of packing as much value into this video as possible, once you've gone through all 500 of these results down the road, you can then search for slightly different variations. So you can do word puzzle, give that a search, and this is going to give you another list of 500. So we'll switch that to 100. You can come through here, get to the start of the alphabet, and now you're just going to get even more ideas, but these are slight variations of how people are searching on Amazon. So they might be searching for a word search book or a word puzzle book. And then there are a couple other variations you can use. The biggest other one would be word find. You can give that a search. Again, just switch that to 100, and you're going to have another 500 entries that you can go through and heart. So guys, this gives you an absolute ton of ideas that you can create books about. And once you've got the ones that you are interested in starting hearted, then we go back to the next step in this process, which is to click on keywords again, and now go over to favorites. So in your favorites, it's going to list all of the ones that you have hearted. So they're all going to be listed on the left side. And instead of telling you again how many people are searching for that every month, instead we can click on the 3 lines for each of these. This is going to pull up the details about that niche specifically. So all we have to do here is just go through this list and click on the details and find out how good of a niche that really is. So I would be interested in starting with the Army word search book. So let's click on the details for that one. And this is quickly going to tell us all the information we need to know about this niche. So initially, I'm looking straight for the competition score. So just like in school, you get an A if you did really well, you get a B if you did pretty good, all the way down to an F if you failed. Well, that is how that is rating how many people are competing in that specific niche. So for the topic of Army-themed word search books, there are very few people competing. Not many other people have thought of this niche. Not many other people have created word search books about it and uploaded those to Amazon. However, there's an estimated 252 sales of Army-themed word search books every single month on Amazon. So guys, what I would be doing here is I would copy Army-themed word search book and go put that in a list of a really good idea to start with. And then I'd go through the rest of these and see which other ones are A-rated niches and have a good amount of sales in them. Automotive, let's see what that one has. This is another A-rated niche. Very few people are creating automotive related word search books. It has 38 estimated sales every single month. And that is still plenty of sales to create this book and upload it to Amazon KDP because you know that you are competing with very few people. Now, I will just take one step back here and clarify a very important concept. And what that is when you are selling on Amazon, the name of the game here is to go into as many niches as you can. You don't want to just be creating general word search books. Rather, you want to be creating automotive themed word search books, Army themed word search books, all of these with specific topics, and then get as many of those out there on the marketplace as possible. Typically, when people come into the business of selling on Amazon, they get caught in the trap of going after the big general niches, the general word search books, the 2025 word search books. That is the furthest thing from what I would recommend, especially coming in as a new seller. If instead you try to find all of the niches that are getting sales but have few competitors, you are going to start succeeding a lot faster in Amazon KDP, and you can build up a really consistent source of income that is not going to fluctuate all that much because you're diversified in a ton of different niches. So guys, I know that is a lot of information in a very short amount of time, and if you didn't fully comprehend that, I highly recommend rewinding that and rewatching it, because wrapping your mind around that strategy and taking that to go forward with Amazon KDP can be the difference between a business that does not succeed and one that wildly succeeds. All right, so with that being said, you guys now have the process on how to find all of these niches that have low competition and have sales happening every single month. We will start with automotive for this tutorial. So we will create a automotive or car themed word search book, and I'll walk you through the rest of the steps. Okay, so we don't need anything else from this page. We know we're going to create an automotive themed word search, so we can X out of this. You can come back and you can find more of these A-rated niches later. However, the next step is to stay within BookBolt. Like I said, this is kind of an all-in-one tool. We will then go over to research. We will click on it and switch it to create. And then we'll go to BookBolt Studio, which is the first one at the top. Okay, so once you get into the studio, this is where we're going to create our cover, and we are going to create all the word search puzzles. So this is where I have left off last. However, what you are going to want to do is go to project and then go to new project. And for the project name, I would type in the niche first, automotive, word search. And then a couple really important settings you have to get right here is the trim size. You want to set that to 6:9. And then black and white interior with white paper. You can leave bleed on. And then for the page count, you want to put 110 pages. Once yours looks just like this with everything the same, go ahead and click Create Project. So the first time that you are opening a new project, it is going to look just like this. This is essentially our cover that we are creating. This is the little thumbnail for it right here. And then these are all of the pages that we are eventually going to put word search books on, listed down on the left side. So for the first time that you are creating a new cover, it's always going to give you these guidelines here. It's basically telling you where the printing is going to start to get cut off by Amazon. So you want to make sure that all of the important information that you are putting on your cover is within all of the white and it doesn't go into the red. That means it has the potential to get cut off when printing. Now, the reason for this is when Amazon is printing the books, it is not perfectly exact. So there is a little bit of margin where it cuts and creates those books. So that's why they put this here, just to be safe that everything is within the white. Now, the only other important thing to know here is that over on the back page, which is this one on the left, Amazon is automatically going to put a barcode in here for us. To show you what this looks like, if you go back over to Amazon and we click on one of these listings, the back cover here is going to have that barcode that Amazon automatically puts here. So the kind of rule of thumb here is you don't don't want to have anything covering that or obstructing where that barcode will go. So as you can see, the person who created this book, they left that blank in that corner. They didn't put anything over top of it, no text, nothing that would get covered up by the barcode. So when we are creating our book, we want to just keep that in mind, that you don't want to put anything down in this corner. Okay, so with all of that being said, that's all you really need to know for creating this cover. So the first thing we're going to do is go to the transparency. We'll click on that, and we're going to go to hide cover template, and we'll click OK. Now we know that we should just stay out of this corner and keep everything within these green dashed lines. That way it's going to stay out of the red. But I just wanted to explain that for you the first time so you know what all of that meant. Okay, so now we get to actually create our cover, and this is a lot easier than you might think. So don't worry if you don't have graphic design experience. I'll show you kind of all the tricks that I've learned in this process. So the very first thing is come over to the left side, and we're going to go to the shapes, and we're going to click on a rectangle. Now this will automatically add it to your cover. The first thing that I like to do is just to close this back out so it brings everything to the center and it's a lot easier to see. We are then going to just drag this up to the corner. We're going to put it over the edge so it's all the way up here. And then we're going to drag this all the way over the book so it covers the whole thing. You can keep going as far as your cursor will allow. Just make sure that it is overlapping and covering the entire book. So essentially what we've just done is created a background color that we can easily change depending on what the theme of the book is. So we are creating an automotive book, so we might actually be able to leave this black, but let's say that we want to change this to a lighter gray. All you have to do is just slide this right here, and you can change this to any color that you want. So I could drag it over here and get into the reds, and then you just use this slider right here and it will change the color. You can literally put any color that you want here that relates to the theme. I'm going to, again, just bring this over to a darker gray. That will look good for automotive, and then just click on OK. So just like that, we have our background color complete. Now we go back over to shapes. We're going to then add another rectangle. Again, just close out of this so it comes back to the center. And I'm going to drag this to the upper center part of the front page. Always remember that the right side is your front cover, the left side is your back cover. So generally what I would do here is just click on the fill color. We will switch this box to white, which is in the top left corner. We'll click on OK. And then I like to round these corners. It makes everything look a little bit more professional. So that button is right here. We're just going to put that to something about 0.4. And we'll click OK, and then I'm just going to drag this out a little bit to each side and then snap it to the center. So I'm going to click and drag it. It'll snap right to that green line when it is in the center. Put that towards the top of this cover. So guys, essentially what we've just done is created a header for this book that we can then put the title of the book in here. So in order to put that title here, let's come back over to the left side. Instead of shapes, we're going to go down to text, and we'll just click on add heading. Again, just close this out so it comes back to the center, and we'll drag this over, snap it to the center, and this is going to be where we type in the title of this book. So for this, our theme is automotive, and this is going to be a longer word. So I'm just going to click off of it, click back on it, and this will give us all these little tabs that we can click and drag to make this bigger or smaller. So I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, snap it back to the center, just make sure that it fits. Okay, that looks good. And then I'm going to go back over to text again, add another heading, close this out so it comes back to the center, and this is where I'm going to type in word search. Okay, click off of it, click back on, drag this so it fits. And then we've got automotive word search. Now, as you can see, this looks very basic as it is. So the way to spruce this up is you can click on both word search or click on automotive, and then you click on open sans up top. This is the font. So once you click on that, it opens up all of these different options or styles you can use. And this list keeps scrolling all the way down. Something really important to know, something that not a lot of people think about, is all of these fonts within BookBolt are copyright free and commercially usable. When you are selling anything for a profit, especially on Amazon, you want to make sure that everything you're using, whether that's specific fonts or graphics, things we'll talk about later, you have the full usage rights to use them. So BookBolt only pulls in copyright free, commercially usable fonts. So anything you use here, you can click on them, you can watch it change in the background, and you will not get in trouble by using that to profit and sell on Amazon. This is something that I learned over the years of selling on marketplaces, is that some other big name graphic design tools are not fully copyright free and commercially usable. So you might create a great design, but it gets taken down off of that marketplace later on because someone reported it because they own something, whether that's a font or a graphic that you used in your design. So just click around here and you can see this kind of changing in the background. A little pointer I will give you is if you put your cursor over to the side and you use your two fingers to zoom in or zoom out, you can either pinch in or pinch out. It'll allow you to see more of this. So you can kind of get a better idea as to how this is changing when you are clicking these. I'll just use something like this one that we've landed on. I'll click on OK. and then you can pinch to zoom back in so you can see this a little bit bigger again. Now, another tip I'll give you is that if the pinching and zooming is not working really well for you, just click on the fit button, which is in the bottom right corner. This will put it just back to how it started in the beginning. So far we've got automotive, we've got word search. I would highly recommend putting them in 2 different fonts, just so it kind of pops as people are seeing them on the marketplace. Now, for you guys doing this, I would spend a little bit more time sprucing this up, but that will be our heading for this example. Now, before moving on to the rest of this cover, one other thing that you can do to help this look good is click on this white rectangle that we've put back here, and you can put a border color on it. So this is the stroke right here. As you start to make this bigger, it's going to add in a border around that white. So right now it is set on no color, but as we select this, we can pull that into a darker gray just to give this some dimension, or you can change it to any color that you like. If you want to do a red or something else, you just use the sliders and then click on OK. And when you click off of that, you can see that this just made this look a little bit more appealing. So that's that for our heading right here. Now, the only other thing that I would recommend for your cover is to put a big word search puzzle right here and then put in a graphic that relates to that niche. So to start, we will add the graphic in here. So just come over, instead of shapes, instead of text, the next one down is graphics. Another really cool feature to Bookbolt is they are automatically pulling in images from Pixabay and Unsplash. These are both going to be copyright free and commercially usable, just like we were talking about before. I tend to find better images off of Pixabay, and all you have to do is type in what you are looking for. So let's start with automotive. We'll give that a search. And what I'm looking for from experience here is a graphic that has a transparent background. So like this right here, you can see it's just the cutout of the car and then has a checkerboard behind it, which means it's transparent, as opposed to something like this where it's a full-fledged image. So if you were to click on the full-fledged image, it is not going to look as professional when you put it on the cover. Whereas if you take that out and you click on something that is fully cut out with a transparent background, you can see that this will look a lot more professional once we put that on top of a word search puzzle. So let's go back and see if we can find something that looks really appealing here in automotive. And as I'm scrolling through looking here, I'm just going to give you some pointers that I've learned over the years, is that something specific like automotive, you can run into some issues with trademarks. So if you were to pick something like this, which is clearly a Lamborghini, although you have the rights to use this image, Lamborghini might not like it and they might report you on the marketplace because you're using their reputation to make a profit for yourself. So although this is kind of a unique situation, I still wanted to bring it up because it could apply to other things. Like let's say you're creating a word search book about baseball. Well, you can't put in baseball teams' logos on your cover simply because they own the trademark to their logo or their name. So we can't just use it to try to make money ourselves. Okay, so I've just looked through the results here and I came up with a good idea. I searched for a gear shifter. This is something that if you are a car guy or if you're in automotive, you are proud to drive a manual car. So if you put something like this on your cover, which has the clear cutout, this is the top of a shifter. Anyone who knows this will instantly recognize it and will be proud that they have a manual car. So we'll click on this one. And this will add it right to our cover. We'll make it a little bit smaller, just so it fits in here. Now, there are a couple other steps here. Most importantly is putting the word search puzzle behind this. But in order to do that step, we need to create the word search puzzles first. So we'll save that one for a little bit later on. But the other 2 things that I do for just about every cover is I put a little bit of text down here at the bottom that says word search puzzles for adults, seniors, teens. That's generally my go-to. And then I put instructions on the back. So let me just open up one of my other projects and I'll show you an example of this, and then we'll add it to this cover. Okay, so for example, starting with the instructions, all I do is put one of those rounded rectangles in the back and put just plain text here that says the solutions can be found going in any direction: up, down, forwards, backwards, and diagonally. Any word containing a space will be compressed into one word. This is just to clear up any confusion, so when someone buys the word search book, they can quickly look at the back and know how to find the words. So in order to do this on your cover, the fastest way to do this, instead of adding another rectangle and formatting it, is literally just to click on this one, right click it, and duplicate. And we will bring it over to the left, center it right here. Make sure that it's kind of aligned at the top with the other one, just so it visually looks good. One will be on the front, one will be on the back. So no one's going to be able to tell exactly if they were perfectly lined up, but I like to kind of zoom in here and just make sure that they are very close. Okay, that looks good. We'll hit fit again to bring it back. And now we can put our instructions in here. So I'm going to click on text, and instead of heading, we're going to add in multi-line. This is just going to be for a paragraph. We will drag it over here. I'll close this out so we have more room. And then this font I can tell already is going to be too big. So I'm just going to click on the points of font over here, and we will bring it down here just so it is smaller. And we'll drag that over here to the center. And we're going to type in this phrase. This is what I use on all of the backs of mine. What I'm just going to do here is I'm just going to select all of it, and I'm going to copy it. We'll come back over here, select all of this, and I'm going to paste it. Now, if it's not formatting just right, the first thing that you're probably going to have to do is select all of this, click this kind of center align. We'll click on that. We will drop that down to center and then click on OK. and we've already finished the text size, so I'll click on OK as well. And then the other thing that I would do here is click off, click back on it, and drag these little toggles out to the side. This is going to give it more room to fit the rest of the words on each line. And as you can see, this is starting to look just right. I can tell that this font is still a little bit too big. It's getting too close to the edges. So I'll come back in here one more time, make this a little bit smaller, and then just make sure that that snaps to the center. And that is starting to look just about perfect. So there are instructions on the back. Simple, quick, and easy, but that's something that I do on every single one of my covers. And then the last thing at the bottom is what you saw on this one that says puzzles for adults, seniors, and teens. So the way to do that, again, we can just right click and we can duplicate. We'll bring this one down to the bottom. If you guys noticed, a lot of this is all about efficiency, and that's how you're going to make these covers quickly. So I'm just going to put that down here. And then instead of going over here and adding another text box and formatting it for size, I know that roughly I want this same size. So I'm just going to click on this text over here. I'm going to right click it and duplicate it. And then I'm going to drag it down here, select all of it, take it out, and then just say puzzles for adults, seniors, and teens. And then this I might make just a little bit bigger just so it fills this box. And as you can see, this is all starting to look just about right. Now guys, I will say that this cover still does look basic, and that's just because we've gone through this quickly. When you look at something like this, I've just spent more time choosing the fonts and formatting all of these shapes just so everything looks as good as possible. However, what we've just learned will teach you how to do everything that I've used to create a cover just like this. Now we are about to move on to creating the actual word search puzzles. This is a relatively quick step, and then I'll show you how to upload them to Amazon KDP. I'll give you my titles, subtitles, descriptions. I'll give you all of those things so you can use for your own listings. However, one really good pointer that I want to give you guys is that as you start creating a lot of these books, when you create another project, you can just click on project and clone project. What that is going to do is open up an exact one of these projects again, and then all you have to do is change automotive to whatever the next niche is, change the graphic to whatever that niche is, and change the colors in the background. This is going to speed up your creation process a lot because you are not starting from scratch every time. Once you've built a cover template, you can use that template again, just changing out the colors, the graphic, the name to create your next word search book. So just keep in mind, the first cover template is going to take you a little bit to create. However, your next ones in the future will only take you a couple minutes to create from start to finish. Okay, so in order to create these word search puzzles, come over to the left side and click on the little puzzle icon, and then go to word puzzle. And then over on the right side here is going to be word search standard. That's the one that we want to use. Now, before I click on word search, I do want to just quickly show you that these are all the other types of puzzles that you can create using BookBolt. Again, since this is under their pro subscription, not many other people out there have access to these, so it's a really good tool to have. So let's click on the word search standard. And the first step here is we have to select what pages we want the word searches on. The simplest way to do this is click on select from to and type in 1 as the first number and then 55 as the next number. This is going to select the first half of the book. You will find out that the second half of the book is going to be all of the solutions pages, but if yours looks just like this, go ahead and click on continue to options. And there's only a few things that we have to set here. So leave Amazon KDP guidelines selected and then go to words per puzzle. We are going to select that as 9 words per puzzle. We can do diagonal and we can do reverse words. Remember when we were setting the instructions on our book, we said the solutions can be found going in any direction, up, down, forwards, backwards, and diagonally. Well, that's coming into play here. This is diagonally, forwards, and backwards. So you get to choose which way you want it to create the puzzles. I would recommend just turning all of these on. We can then close the puzzle tab. We don't have to open solution or title. All of these you can leave untouched, which is pretty awesome. We just come down to choose CSV file. So this is where I'm going to share one of my personal tools with you guys totally for free. You don't have to pay to use it at all. But what it is asking here is for a CSV file of all of the words that we want to create the puzzles with. So typically when you're creating a word search book, you have to create a big list of words that all relate to the niche that you are creating. So they can't be general words. They have to all be related to automotive. Well, I can tell you from my experience, besides the tool that I have created that I'm about to show you, there is no other easy way to do this. So before we can click on choose CSV file, we have to go create the CSV file. So I'll show you how to do that right now. Okay, so this is the tool right here. It is on ChatGPT, but it is called the Word Search List Builder. This is going to be a tool that you can only get to with the link down in the description. I haven't put it publicly on the ChatGPT marketplace, so no one else can use it but you guys. I'm trying to keep it very private. So if you guys click that link in the description, it'll bring you to this page. If you don't already have a ChatGPT account, it's just going to ask you to create a free one. Something really important to clarify here is that in order to use custom GPTs like this one that I built, you have to have a free ChatGPT account. However, the big thing to clarify is that you do not need to pay. ChatGPT does have paid plans. That's for ChatGPT generally. It's just going to increase your daily usage limit. So you can use this tool a lot more before it cuts you off and says, hey, you have to wait a while to keep using ChatGPT. I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page, that I am not charging you guys to use this, and you don't have to pay ChatGPT to use it. Once you've used it a lot, ChatGPT is going to limit your daily usage. They have to cap the usage of ChatGPT somehow so people don't just abuse it and use it to run their entire businesses all day long and things like that. So with that being said, all you have to do when you get to this page is click here to start. This is then just going to prompt you with 3 specific questions. What is your niche for your word search book? How many words per puzzle? And how many puzzles total? So the easiest way to do this, I think, is just to select this. We will copy it and then come down here and we will paste it. And then this is the format it wants you to enter it. We are then just going to change camping to automotive. And then very important, we are going to leave this as 9 words per puzzle and 55 puzzles total. So if you can remember back as we're creating this book, we set it as 9 words per puzzle and we have 55 pages of puzzles. So that's 55 puzzles total. So I would enter it just like this, automotive, 9 words per puzzle, 55 puzzles, and then go ahead and click on enter. This is going to start writing out all of the words related to automotive in the specific format that we need to create these puzzles, and it is the only tool out there that does this for us. Trust me, I've spent so much time trying to find other tools that can do this, and nothing can do it as efficiently as this. The one thing that I will say about this tool, though, is that ChatGPT has default limits as to how long it can keep writing before it has to stop. It can't just continue writing your response forever. So I've set this up so that once it has to stop, it's going to just say continue generating, and you just say yes. Click enter, and it's going to continue exactly where it left off, building this list of words for us. So guys, as this is writing this list for us, I will say a couple important things about using this tool. First is that it is set to not repeat any words, so that as people are going through the word searches in your book, they don't have a bunch of repeated words. Secondly, the words for word searches can be a maximum of 20 characters long. This has a rule set to not exceed the 20 characters limit. However, it is artificial intelligence, so sometimes it has a mind of its own. If we run into that issue, I'll walk you through that process. And then the last thing that I'll say about this tool is that if you've entered a niche that is very specific and it can't pull enough words about it, all you have to do is type in multiple niches that are all similar to that niche, but it gives this tool a lot more words that it can pull from so that all of your results are unique. So this list is ready for us to use to turn this into a CSV file. Let me show you how to do that right now. So the easiest way to turn this into a CSV file is to go to Google Sheets. This is just like Excel. So if you have Excel on your computer, you can use that. If you don't have Excel installed, then you can use Google Sheets like I do, and then just click on sign in. And then once you are signed in, just click on blank spreadsheet. And then we're going to go back to ChatGPT, and this is where we're going to start copying the words and pasting them in our sheet. So come all the way back up to the top. This is number 1. We're going to select here, and we're going to scroll all the way down until we get to our first continue generating break, which is right here. And I'm just going to go to that %sign, and I'm going to right click, copy, go to Google Sheets, and here I'm just going to paste. Now, if you right click and click on paste, it is going to prompt you and say, for some reason on Google Sheets, you can't right click paste unless you install something that allows you to do it. I still haven't done this. So to paste, I use Command V. On your computer, it's either Command V or Control V. So I'm just going to click on that first box and hit Command V. That's going to paste this right here. Let's scroll down to see where this left off. Okay, we'll go back to ChatGPT. We're going to start on the next one. And we're going to select this section until we get to the next continue generating and do the same process. So there's our next one. I'm just going to hit Command C to copy, go back over here, Command V. We'll keep coming down, and you'll just repeat this process all the way throughout the rest of this list until you get to the last word in the list. Okay, so I've just pasted my entire list here. Now let's scroll all the way back up to the top. And what you're going to notice is that in between every 9 words, which is 9 words per puzzle, there is a %sign. Now you may be wondering, what is the %sign? Well, what this is actually a trick that I learned from trial and error. It's that you can't have a space here and be able to copy paste a space. So we need in our list, in order for it to be formatted properly, a blank cell in between every 9 results. That way, when we upload that CSV file to BookBolt, it knows which words to put in which puzzle. So the efficiency trick here is to copy paste a %sign, and then you're just going to hit Command F. This is going to bring up the find feature. And then we are just going to enter a %sign, and it is going to highlight all of these. We then just click on the 3 dots. We say find, we leave that how it is, replace, leave it blank, and then we click replace all. Then we just click on done. And as you can see, it has put a blank cell in between every 9 words, exactly how we need it for BookBolt. So guys, the last thing that I will say here is as you scroll down here, you're going to see that there are 550 words, which is more than the 495 that it said it generated. That is because it is factoring in all of these blank cells as well. So if you see over the amount of words that you were asking to generate over here, that's totally normal. So guys, this list is ready to go. So we just click on File, we go to Download, and then go to CSV, which is comma separated values, and we get to name it. So it's going to be Automotive Word Search. And we will save that to our downloads. You can put it to your desktop, wherever you can find it easily. Okay, so with that file saved, now we get to go back over to BookBolt, and where it says choose CSV file, we can click on that and we can choose that file that we just saved. And now we can just click on continue to solutions pages. Now from here, you don't have to click anything, just scroll down. You will see that the second half of the book is selected and you can click on submit. And if there are any issues with your list, it will give you a pop-up that says fix errors and try again. This is totally normal. Just click on OK. And this is going to tell you exactly what those errors are. So I did notice this, but I wanted to let this happen naturally. But in the words list that we created over here, I could tell that some of these words are longer than 20 characters. That's what I was mentioning earlier on. So on some of these niches, the words that relate to that topic are just generally longer, and the artificial intelligence can't get it right every time. So sometimes you may run into this error. So if you do, it is going to say that on these rows, the words are 23 characters when they have to be a maximum of 20. So I'm kind of glad this happened because you may run into this here and there, but all you have to do is go back on row 466, go back to your CSV file, and let's go find 466. Okay, this word is going to be too long, so we have to shorten that below 20 characters. So what I recommend doing is just manually shortening these words to something that still makes sense. So break proportioning valve, we're just going to take out proportioning. That'll be a break valve. That is now under 20 characters. Okay, let's come back over here. 474. That would be this one, windshield washer nozzle. I'm just going to select this and do windshield washer. Now what's cool about this is we have 495 words throughout this book. So if we have 1 or 2 repeats, let's say that we shorten this and somewhere else it says windshield washer, no one is really going to notice. It's not going to make someone's experience with the word search book any worse than if there were absolutely no repeats. So guys, I will put you on fast forward, but I'm just going to go through here and correct just the couple more of these and shorten them below 20 characters, and then we can continue. Okay, so that only took me a minute here, but I've gone through all of these. I've shortened all of those words. So now that these are shortened, I just go back up here to File. We're going to download as a CSV again. I'm going to do Automotive Word Search, and I'm going to do 2. So that way I can tell the difference when I'm uploading this file. Okay, that's now saved. We can then go back over to BookBolt, and now just X out of this one. It's going to say, are you sure you want to clear the CSV? Yes. And we're just going to click on choose CSV file again, and now pick the second one. Okay, same thing here. So now we can just click on continue to solutions page. Everything is set for us. Click on submit. And now, as you can see, there are no errors and it's creating the word search puzzles for us. So something pretty cool about this is I didn't fast forward or anything, and it just created the puzzles for us this quickly. That's how fast this works. And now when you click in on each page, you can see that you have a custom word search puzzle with the 9 words per puzzle. All of this is done automatically. Now, when you scroll all the way through here and you get halfway through the book to page 55, that is going to be your last puzzle. And then all of these solutions automatically start on the second half of the book. So you don't have to do anything. You don't have to lift a finger to create the solutions. They will automatically be generated for you. So guys, the last step here is to put that word search puzzle behind this gear shifter. Again, so you have this kind of look right here, which looks really good for word searches. And in order to do that, the first thing that we do is go over to shapes, and we're going to add a square this time instead of a rectangle. We'll close this so we have more room to work with. And then we're going to change this color from black to white. So we'll drag that all the way up, click on OK. We are then going to bring this over to the center here. Right now, it is going to be on top of the gear shifter, but make it just about the right size. Okay, and then we are going to go to our first puzzle. We are going to right click, we're going to copy, and then go back to our cover and use your Command V or Control V. This is going to paste it, and it will paste it, as you can see, without a white background. That's why we've just put this square here. So I'm going to make it a little bit smaller just so it fits. And then as you can see, the border lines up all the way around that white square, but I want to remove everything but this word search puzzle. So in order to do that, all we do is click on this little menu on the right side to expand it. And then you can see puzzle 1, click on the 3 dots there and hit edit contents. And now the word search is all we want to keep. So I'm just going to right click on puzzle 1. I'm going to click delete. Okay. As you can see, that took that puzzle 1 header out of the top. And I'm going to do the same thing for all of these words. So instead of doing them one by one, just click over here. You can select all of them at once and then just right click, delete, And just like that, we have a clean looking puzzle that is centered in the middle of this white background, and it looks like a border. And the very last step we have to do here is we have to find our image, which is the little image graphic right here. If you look through the icons, they're all going to be text or shapes. This one is going to be a graphic. Click on that and drag it all the way to the top. This is going to put it in front of everything, so it's the top layer. Okay, and now we can click on this to make that menu smaller again. And I'm just going to select this, make it a little bit smaller so it fits exactly where we want it. And then if you wanted to add in those couple different icons, something like the 50 plus puzzles or easy to read, then that would make this look even better. Now, if you're wondering where I got this kind of blue and this red badge icon from, all I've done to do that is go over to the graphics, go to Pixabay and type in badge. And then you have a bunch of different badges that you can choose from, and then simply just putting text over top of it. So for the sake of making this book look a little bit more complete here, I'm just going to copy this 50 plus puzzles, easy to read, and paste it over on this cover. And that will help spruce it up before we upload it to KDP. So guys, just like that, this book is entirely complete. So now I'll take you on to the last step, which is the easiest step here of actually uploading it to Amazon KDP. So in order to save this as a file that Amazon KDP will accept, we just go to download and click on the first one here, which is download current project, CMYK printed books. Nothing else to do here but wait, and this is going to download it exactly how we need for Amazon KDP, straight to our computer. All right, and then as this is finishing up, it's going to ask us what we want to name this. So I'm going to do automotive, word search, and I'm going to put complete. That way I know on my computer which one is the words list and which one is the actual completed book. So I'm going to save that to our downloads. I'm going to click on save. And then one step that I highly recommend doing is this is going to save as a .zip file. All you have to do is double click it, and it's going to open up that .zip file and turn it into a folder that you can then upload to Amazon KDP. If you're not familiar with what a .zip file is, it's basically the way that you download multiple files from the internet all in one download instead of having multiple downloads starting on your computer. So as you can see, once I've clicked on that zip file, it turns it into an actual folder where I can click and I can have multiple files that downloaded. So the first is going to be the cover, and the next one is going to be the interior. So all of the word search puzzles. When we're uploading to Amazon KDP, it will ask for the cover in one upload and the interior in the other. So that's how that is done. All right, guys, so if you have made it this far, you literally have the files on your computer ready to upload to Amazon KDP. So all you have to do now is go over to Amazon KDP. And if you haven't already joined to create your account, just click on that Join KDP button, go through the sign up process, and then it's going to bring you to your dashboard where you can actually upload your first book. So once you get to your dashboard, it looks just like this. We click on the big yellow create button. And then a very important step that a lot of people overlook is we want to make sure that we are selecting a paperback book, not a Kindle ebook. If you select a Kindle ebook on accident, it will not accept the files that we've just created. So make sure that you're selecting create paperback. And then this is where we get to choose our book's title. We get to upload those files that we've just created and set our price so we can figure out how much we're going to make on each sale. So this part is the easiest part of the entire process, and I'm going to make it even easier for you. I have tested a bunch of different book titles and subtitles, and I've kind of boiled it down to a copy paste template that I use for all of my books now. I will share that with you right now so it can save you guys a ton of trial and error, and feel free to use it for your own books. But let me go grab the copy paste and I'll put it here for the book title. Okay, so this is my copy paste book title. I have X word search puzzle book. Very simple. That's what Amazon wants. You just switch out X with what the niche is. So automotive, word search puzzle book, just like that. The subtitle is a little bit longer here. I'll show you what that is now. So here is the copy paste template for the subtitle, word searches with easy to read print about X, X, and X. Now you may be wondering, why are there 3 niches to fill in here instead of just automotive? Well, this is something that I've learned from a lot of trial and error over the years, is that if you can put in multiple similar keywords, people might be searching for automotive word search books or vehicle word search books or mechanic word search books, or like a gift for a mechanic. So by having multiple of these in here, we show up for multiple different search terms. So the first one is your main one, automotive. And then the second one, I will do cars. And then the third one, I will do mechanics. This is just going to give you a lot more ranking power, and your book will get seen by a lot more people because you're reaching all 3 of these instead of just automotive. The rest of this subtitle, you don't have to touch at all. Those are just really good keywords for word searches in general. So guys, that is the copy paste for both the book title and the subtitle. So from here, your book title and subtitle are totally complete. Now you can scroll down, skip over series, skip over edition number, and author. This is where you can put in your first name and your last name, or you can use a pen name. So if you don't want these books to show up under your name when someone Googles you, I don't blame you for that. And instead, you can come up with any name that you want to use. Just make sure that it's not a company name, and make sure that it's not a name that someone else is already using on Amazon KDP. Generally, as a good rule of thumb, I would type in your initials, so GG, and then puzzle books. And that is going to be a really easy one for you to use. Something else that's really important to know is that you can use the same author name for every one of your books, or you can use a different author name for each individual book. I've done it both ways and I haven't seen an increase in sales from any which way of doing it. So the author name is totally up to you. You can really get creative here. It's not something that I would get hung up on. So I would just start with this if you don't have anything good in mind. Now moving on from here, the contributors, you can skip right over that. And that brings us into the description. Again, I have another efficiency hack for you guys, so it's going to save you guys a lot of time. And what that is going back over to ChatGPT. And this time we are just going to open a new chat using ChatGPT. It's not using the word list builder, but it is going to use artificial intelligence from ChatGPT. So this is my copy paste template here. It says use this format to write a description about and we'll change the theme to automotive themed word search book. And then this is a really good description here that I want it to mimic in the same style, but make it all about automotive. So you can screenshot this and type this out yourself if you'd like. Just make sure that you have all the formatting correct here. I'll go slowly here so you can kind of screenshot this for your own. So once this is set here, I'm just going to click on enter and you will see this just go to work here. So rev your engines with this automotive word search puzzle book. Get ready to hit the road with this thrilling automotive themed word search book. This is a really good description. It does a great job every single time. And then all you have to do is just select all of this. We are going to right click, we're going to copy that, go back over to Amazon KDP, and we're just going to paste it here. And just like that, your description is now complete. As a general rule of thumb, I would always read over this just one time to make sure that there are no typos, make sure that everything does make sense. But that is your description right there. Then we can continue on. Publishing rights, I own the copyright and hold all the necessary publishing rights. Yes, we do. Sexually explicit images or title, no. Reading age, no, we don't have to select one of those. Primary marketplace, I would leave that set on Amazon.com. And now we get to another important step of choosing our categories. So click on choose categories and then do select one. We're going to go down to humor and entertainment. And then on subcategory, we're going to go to puzzles and games. And now we get to select 3 of these. So we're going to do puzzles, word games, and word searches. Okay, just keep scrolling down here, click on save categories, and then we get to skip over both of these. It is not a low content book, which means it has nothing inside of it, and it is not a large print book. We have created a 6x9 book. I will say if you do select an 8.5x11 book, it is technically large print, then you can turn that on, but it's going to cost you more to print, so your profit margin is smaller. Okay, so coming down to the next section, our keywords. This is going to be another important section here. So this is where we get to tell Amazon what our word search is about and who they should show it to when people are searching on the marketplace. So I'll show you how I personally do this. This is something that I've learned over years of experience. So I really hope that you guys do this for your own business as well. So the first one here is just going to be automotive word search. Now for your keywords, it's not going to matter if they are capitalized or not. Just make sure that there are no typos in them. And then for the other 6 ones, I recommend going back to Amazon. This is where we're going to go look in the auto suggest to see what other people are actively searching for that relates to automotive word search books. So word search book 4, and then we're going to type in different ideas. So cars, let's see, car lovers, car word search book. Okay, both of those are going to be good. Let's go back over here. Car word search book. Car lovers word search book. Okay, let's go back to Amazon. Okay, let's type in some more ideas for mechanic. I just saw it right there. Mechanic word search book. Let's use that one. So this process of what we're doing here is we're finding out what Amazon thinks we're going to finish that sentence with, which means that enough other people have searched for that Amazon thinks that that's what we're likely looking for. So we've got 3 more here. So let's type in some more ideas. Vehicles. Nope. Let's try searching this a different way because we're not getting good hits. So let's do race car word search. Okay, race space car space word search. That's going to be one people are looking for. Okay, so once you've gone through these auto suggest results and you've pulled out all of the ones that you can, then actually give one of them a search. So I'm going to do car lovers. I think that's a good one. And look at the results to see if you can find more keywords that you want to show up with. So automobiles word search. That's a good one. And let's see if we can get one more. Car mechanic word search. I'm going to put in car mechanic instead of just mechanic. So we'll do car mechanic word search. And that would be a good gift for a car mechanic if someone's searching for that. Now, something else that I think would be really good for you to know is that if you come back over to Amazon, looking at how many other car-related word search books there are out there, you may be wondering what's going to make yours so special that people are going to buy when other people have already uploaded car-related word search books as well. Well, this is something that I kind of love as an experienced seller. Most new people in this business, they see this, that there are other people competing on the same type of book, and they think that their books are not going to sell. Well, I can just say that your books will still sell sell. It all kind of depends on how people are searching. So if someone types in word search for car lovers, all of these are going to show up. But if they type in a gift for a car mechanic, yours might be the only one that ranks for that term. I'll even give you guys a personal story here. I created one of these books in an A-rated niche, but that book showed up on the 7th page of Amazon when you were searching for it directly like this, but somehow that book is still getting sales almost every single day. All I can say here is if you are new to this business and you haven't seen how well this works, just give it a shot. You might surprise yourself, and keep in mind that people are searching all different variations where your book may end up showing on the very first page, whereas a broad search like this, it may show up on several pages back. Okay, so from here, this is totally complete. Now we can keep scrolling down here, leave publication date and release date the same, release my book for sale now, and go to save and continue. And now in this next step, just click on assign ISBN, go to assign ISBN again. What this is going to do is give you a unique barcode for the back of your book. By selling on Amazon, they are willing to give these to us totally for free. If you sell on other marketplaces or you try to sell in a bookstore, you typically have to pay for each one of these ISBNs. However, selling on Amazon, they are willing to give them to us for free for every single book. So it's not just for this first one. Every time you go through the process, you can click that again and get your own custom ISBN. From here, you can scroll right past here, black and white interior with white pages. 6x9 trim size, that is very important. We're going to do bleed. We will turn that on. That allows us to print all the way to the edges of the book. It's not going to be restricted. And then below this is a matte or glossy finish. I can show you guys an example of this. This one is a glossy finish over here. It reflects the light and it's kind of more slippery or slick in your hands. This is a matte finish and it's a little bit more grippy. It just has a softer texture. I have not seen a sales difference between the two of these. It's just really going to be personal preference for you. So we will leave this on a matte finish, and now we get to upload our manuscript. Manuscript is another word for interior. So this is going to be all of our word search puzzles. So once you click on this, we can open up that folder, automotive word search complete. And then we want the interior. We'll just click on open. Give this a second to upload it. That will say save successfully. And then we go down to the next one. And this is going to ask us about our book cover. We are not going to create one right now. We have already created one. So upload a cover you already have. Click on upload your cover file. And then this is going to be the paperback cover that is down here. Open, and this will upload this one. Save successfully. And then if you wait here for just 1 second, you're going to get kind of a green check mark on both of these. Okay, there we go. Now both of those are uploaded successfully, no issues. And then this will say, does your cover include a barcode? No, we don't want to select that. We want them to put a barcode on there for us. And then just one more question here. It says, have you used artificial intelligence to create your book? This does not affect your listing. Amazon is just trying to collect data on how many people uploading books are using artificial intelligence. For this, I select no. And you may be wondering, since we use the word search list builder on ChatGPT, that uses artificial intelligence. The reason that I am saying no is because that is just helping us format all of those words. Whereas some other people who are creating books are using artificial intelligence to create the entire books. Everything from the graphics for the cover to what the book says on the inside. I really want Amazon to know that I have spent time as a human to create this by hand. I designed the cover, I created it, and the only part that I used artificial intelligence for was creating a words list, which then I created the puzzles myself as well. So personally, I select no on this one. That's what I would recommend for you. And then after that, you just click on Launch Previewer. Just wait for this to load and it's going to give you a real preview of what your book is going to look like when it is printed. Okay, and then once this finishes, it will open up in the print previewer. You can see your front cover here, your back cover. It automatically added that barcode for us and we hadn't put anything there, so it works perfectly. And then you can scroll onto each page. So our first page with our first puzzle, all is within the cutoff area. So all of this looks good. You can keep going through. You can see all of your puzzles on each page. Since we made this on Bookbolt, I know there's not going to be any formatting issues. That's what that software is meant to do. But once this all looks good to you, just go ahead and click on approve. And then keep scrolling through all the way to the bottom here. This is going to give you an idea of how much that book is going to cost to print. In the beginning of this video, I said about $2.50. The specific amount is $2.32. And with this information, we can go into the next step when we click save and continue, and we can set our pricing. So we figure out how much money we're going to make on each sale. So there's a couple questions, and then we get to set our price right here. So it just says, where do you want this to be available? Just click on all territories. That gives you the most potential for sales. And then primary marketplace is already selected as Amazon.com. And now we get to set our pricing. So I have played with this pricing quite a bit here. And what I have found to be the best is between $5.99 and $7.99. So for example, if you type in $5.99, it will auto-populate the rest of this for you to give you an idea of how much money you will make here. So the way that this works so that this all makes sense for you is it's basically saying the sale price is $5.99. of that sale price, we are going to get 60% of that sale, so times 0.6. And then we have to subtract the printing cost, which is $2.32. And we are left with $1.27 as our profit. So every time we make a sale at this price point, we will get $1.27 in profit. Now that doesn't seem like a whole lot. This would be the lowest end that I would recommend setting your book. Where I generally like to set it is $7.99. This is going to give you $2.47 in profit for every sale that's made in the US. So if you look below this, you're going to see all of the other marketplaces that you can make sales as well. Now, kind of a pointer I will give you here to get more sales is to change all of these to 99. So 39, we'll change that to 99. And then 72, we'll change that to 99. And you'll do this all the way down the list. It just makes your sales price look a lot more appealing in all of these other marketplaces. Okay, so that is all set on the pricing. All of these look nice and clean. The last thing that I'll say about all this is that you can also turn on expanded distribution. This is just going to sell your book on other places other than Amazon. You get a smaller percentage because they have to pay that other place as well. So you'll end up with about 88 cents in profit on each of these. In my experience, I would turn these on because we are not trying to build up a brand here. We're just trying to get as many sales as possible as an income stream. So I don't mind if we are getting a smaller percentage of this. 88 cents is better than 0 cents in my opinion. Now, something else that might be pretty cool for you to know is that you would typically think that Amazon.com would be the biggest marketplace to get sales, and generally that is true, but the .uk and the .ca, which is Canada, have represented a large amount of sales in my accounts, which I was very surprised about. So guys, you are literally at the end right here. All you have to do is click publish your paperback book, and that's it. Your book will go into a 72-hour review. Basically, once you click publish, it then goes over to Amazon. It's not live yet. They have 3 days to look over your book to make sure there's no typos, to make sure that your author name is not already used by someone else, and to make sure that your book is formatted properly so it won't get cut off in printing. Now, if you guys do get an email back that says that your book was rejected for some reason, that is totally normal. For some of these books, someone might already be using that author name, or there might be another reason that they want something changed. Just look at their email, see what they want changed. You can go right back into your account. You can change that and then come right back again and click publish your paperback book. It will resend it into this review process, which hopefully the second time it then gets approved. However, if you've done everything like we've just done in this process, you should have no problem getting your books published. So guys, that is the entire process. So from here, you would just go back, find another A-rated niche, use your same cover, change the colors, change the graphic, change the title, go create another words list and make your puzzles, and then rinse and repeat that process to see how many books you can get uploaded onto your account. This is one of those businesses where you can make money in 2 ways. One, you're going to find a hidden niche that no one else has come across, and you are going to be the one getting all of the sales. The second way is going to be you just have a ton of books uploaded in a ton of different niches, so you're just going to get sales from all of them. Guys, I really hope that this video has been helpful, and as a reminder, the coupon code for BookBolt is down in the description below. As always, if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions at all, just let me know down in the comments. Otherwise, I will plan on seeing you all in the next video.